What the narcissist does to your health. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So your health, it took a hit when you were in the relationship. It took a hit unlike you'd ever experienced before. You see, the pressure of the narcissist was weighing on you. You weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing just for you. You were doing what you're supposed to be doing any direction they were leading you towards. You see, the narcissist used you. They manipulated you. They brainwashed you. They lived in your mind rent-free. And your health was one of the main things that took a hit. Think about who you were before you met the narcissist. You probably didn't have health challenges or health concerns, and everything was going really well. As soon as you meet the narcissist, all of your energy and attention is misdirected or diverted where they wanted it going. And it wasn't on you focusing on your health. Think about this. Before you met the narcissist, you were probably exercising, maybe eating properly, maybe getting the proper amount of sleep and nutrition and all these things. And you meet the narcissist and a lot of that went by the wayside, maybe all of it. Any way you cut it, your health was paying a big price for you to be connected with the narcissist. And again, the narcissist knew this. The narcissist wasn't going to tell you who they were. They weren't going to tell you what they were doing. They weren't going to tell you secretly that every time they were filling up the fridge with food when you were trying to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds, that they were trying to have you continue to stay, let's say, a little heavier than you wanted, or flip it. Maybe you were trying to put on weight and they would leave the refrigerator empty. Any way you cut it, once the narcissist knew what you wanted, they would do their best to make sure you didn't get it. And then they would blame you for that. But your health was something that I can assure you, you were neglecting. Many of us did not go see the doctors when we were in these narcissistic relationships, meaning we didn't go get our checkups or get our mammograms or get our other checkups and tests that we need to get done, or blood work and all these things. And one of the reasons why we didn't do that would be because it didn't cross our mind. Another reason would be because we were so concerned about the narcissist and their health and their fires we were putting out that we just took our own health for granted. Now we know that our health is of the utmost importance. We now also know that cutting ties with the narcissist is paramount. And we also now know that your health is improving or returning if you have kicked the narcissist to the curb. Now, having said those things, you need to remember your health and the narcissist. It was declining when you were in the relationship with them. I can talk about vices all day long. This video won't be about vices. This vices is going to be about your health. Now, why I said vices, you could say, well, maybe you were having a couple cocktails, or maybe you were smoking a cigarette or something, or whatever else other people do. Well, and you could say that contributed to your health decline. Well, that may be true. I can't debate that. What I can say, though, is the pressure of the walls closing in on you when you were trapped in the narcissistic relationship, metaphorically, literally, spiritually, and energetically. That's the main reason that your health took a hit. You were carrying the weight of two people. You were trying to put out fires that the narcissist was starting intentionally, deliberately, and on purpose. And you could not even get 1 minute to yourself. Because if you had any time for yourself, perhaps back then, you would have recognized, wait, I haven't seen a doctor in 4 years. I need to go get a medical checkup. But you didn't do that. I didn't do it either. Now you may say, well, wait, you're talking about big topics, broad topics here, Andrew. The health, that's one person's responsibility. Well, you would be correct and you would be correct again. But when you're in the narcissistic fog, when you're in a trauma bond, when you're in the devaluation stage, and all three of those are unique to themselves, yet they equal toxicity. When you're in any and or all three of those environments, the last thing you're thinking about is going to get a medical checkup. What you're thinking about is, what the hell happened to you, how your life has gone sideways, why nobody's talking to you, why you can't eat, why you can't sleep, why you can't function, and why you're checking your cell phone every 15 seconds for the narcissist. Yeah, true story. It's what I did for years. But you didn't know back then what you know now, and that's why I'm creating this video. If you went back, I'm going to give you a side note, pro tip here. If you go back in time, look at the first video I ever created. It is called Glad You Made It. It was created 5 months and 2 days after the discard. And in that video, you will see how I look and how I appear. It's up to you to figure out how I look and appear in that video. But if you put that video side by side with this video, I can assure you, you will see a difference, a big difference, not only in my appearance, not only in my lexicon, not only in the way I look or speak or my confidence level, but you'll realize back then I was a broken person. However, I was strong enough to create a channel, and I was strong enough to pay it forward. And I was clear enough to understand that I had to get back on track. I had to focus on myself. And one of the main things I did, yeah, you're right, create a YouTube channel to pay it forward, to help you out, to give you answers to questions that the narcissist will never give for you, to help you understand what has happened to you, and to let you realize for this video that your health went sideways because of the narcissist. Every single time they were sleep depriving you, that was a little paper cut. Every time they were calling you in the middle of the workday when you were busy trying to close the deal or trying to do that report before the deadline, that was a little slice into you. Every time they would ask you to send them $30 or $40 or $100 on Venmo or Cash App, whatever it was, that was a little slice into you. Every time you would be at a restaurant and you would be trying to have quality time with someone, which the person turned out to be the narcissist, and they would be on one of their 3 smartphones ignoring you or triangulating you with the waiter or waitstaff, or maybe other people they planted in the restaurant. Yep, figured that one out. That's a little slice taken away from you. You see, this is why these relationships are death by 1,000 paper cuts. Now, I know you all don't like me to say the word death and paper cuts. I get it all, and I pull back from that. But I'm throwing it in this video because you need to get the message. Your health, every time you're with a toxic person or near one, your health will take a hit. Think about this one. I'll fast forward for a moment here. Think about this. You can now probably read energy, or you're getting close to doing so. Say you are with someone, and let's say you know that they're toxic, but you have to say it's an event or a barbecue or a reunion or something, but you have to go. And this is present day. And you know that there's one person there that's toxic. No, not the person you're considering, just somebody else. Well, let's say you talk to them for 10 minutes, and then as you're leaving, and you're leaving the conversation and you're getting ready to leave the event because you don't even want to be there, but you showed up for whatever reason, then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that again. And why did I just say that? Because you just caught yourself, as the example is illustrating, when you said, I don't ever want to do that again. You caught yourself saying, that's the last conversation you're going to have with that toxic person again. Because you can read energy and you know that it doesn't feel good, which is why you're leaving the reunion right now. That example, I hope it clicked with you, but this is the whole point of the video. You can now understand every time your tummy, your belly, your stomach, your insides, every time they're not feeling good or your spider senses are tingling like Spider-Man, you know that something is off, something is wrong, something's different, something's amiss. These are the instincts, and this is your intuition that you weren't tapping into before you figured out what narcissism was. Now you're tapping into it. Now you're understanding an awful lot about humanity, mindset, energy, and your health. This is why I create videos every day. It's to get you to understand if you're still living in the household with the narcissist. I can assure you, every single day you're in that house, it is not even close to what you'll experience when you're away from them. That's why you need to get as far away from these people as fast as you can. That's why your health was taking a hit. That's why you couldn't sleep. That's why you were overeating or under-eating. That's why your energy was being zapped or stolen. And this is what the narcissist does. The narcissist wants to keep people off balance. They don't want anyone to ever be like this. They want people like this. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what you were doing when you were in the relationship. So was I. And again, going back to your health, what the narcissist does to your health, they destroy it. They steal it. They take away from it. And think about one of the main things that the narcissist wants to accomplish post-relationship. Essentially, when they discard somebody, what would they want that person to do? You nailed it. They don't want that person to exist. Right on cue with the creatures out here in the Carolina woods. Right on cue again, stopping. If that person doesn't exist due to a health challenge, or maybe they don't make it and they're not strong enough to survive, like my January 6, 2021, or maybe they have a long drawn out concern or something, but if they don't make it, well, then that person can't tell tales of the truth. They can't live to haunt the narcissist. And that's why the narcissist never wants to get their fingers dirty. They want to have all the minions get their fingers dirty. That's why the narcissist has flying monkeys and enablers. The narcissist will throw anybody under the bus. They already did it with you thousands of times. Same with me. It's just a matter of time before the enablers, the flying monkeys, and everyone else gets thrown under the bus at the hands of the narcissist. But remember, the narcissist wants to do all the damage, but have their fingerprints nowhere to be found. It's almost as if it never took place. And that's what the narcissist is banking on. So again, let's say you were in the relationship with the narcissist and you were having health challenges. Well, you didn't know what was happening. You couldn't put your finger on it, and they're not going to tell you for sure. You go to a doctor, are they going to be able to tell you? Probably not. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I have no idea. What I do know is this. I was trapped in the cycle. My weight fluctuated like you have no idea. I had multiple knee surgeries. I had 2 detached retina surgeries. Yes, detached retina. Before I met the raging narcissist, and before I was trapped in multiple narcissistic abusive cycles, I was as healthy as could be. I hadn't had a surgery in my life. There was no reason to have surgeries. Everything was going great. All of a sudden, can't sleep, can't eat, being bounced around like a pogo stick and being banged around like the whack-a-mole game, and I had no idea what was happening. Well, sure enough, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 surgeries later, and no, I'm not embellishing, not even close. And by the way, those surgeries were done without the assistance of anyone that should have been there, and thanks, but no thanks. But having said that, I couldn't figure it out. Then the discard takes place, and then I'm trying to wrap my head around what happened. Within 3 weeks, I figure it out, and light bulbs left, right, center. Oh my gosh, that's what it was? Are you kidding me? And that's why my health is the way it is? Are you kidding me? And that's why I could never get the time of day? Are you kidding me? And that's why this dark energy was swarming all around me? Oh my God. Well, those are the kind of things that cross my mind, and I'm sure they crossed your mind. But what happens eventually when you get the wisdom, meaning you wrap your head around what narcissism is, eventually you realize there is a way out. And what is the way out, you may ask? The way out is close the chapter of the book on this person. Get them out of your life. Cut the contact with them. Sever the 4 ties, the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual tie. Cut them once and for all. And then heal, and heal properly. Stay in the cocoon of boundaries as long as you need to. And when you're ready to come out, and the caterpillar that you will have gone into the cocoon of boundaries as, you will exit as a beautiful butterfly, just like myself. This is you. You will fly higher than you could ever imagine. But before you can do any of that, you need to understand, if you're still connected to the narcissist, your health will take a hit. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be one. I'm a person who was trapped in multiple narcissistic relationships throughout different periods of my life and made it out. And now I've put myself back together as best as I possibly can, and I will continue to work on myself tonight, tomorrow, the next day, and for the next 55 plus years, because I now see what I couldn't see before. And I broke the trauma bond. I broke the narcissistic fog. I broke the narcissistic spell. I broke the curse. I am the generational curse breaker. You are too. And as my health has returned, my hope is your health has returned, or it will. But I will say this one more time, and I'll get ready to close the video. If you're still connected with the narcissist, it's going to be a challenge, to say the least, to do what you need to do. If you cut the ties and you get the message, and you will, then I can assure you, the more energy you place into yourself, the better off you will be. And your health will be one of the things that you will improve. One of the main things I do is I create videos outdoors. Do you see this greenery all around me? And I know a lot of you are like, yeah, I talk about nature a little too much. Well, I love nature, and you should too. Without nature, we're not here. But this is why I come out in nature, because it allows me to be a part of nature and not stuck in the 4 walls of wherever I'm living at whatever time. Because at one point, I was trapped in a house of horrors, in a hell house, for 2 years and 2 days during the pandemic. And all I had to do was think. All I had to do was journal. All I had to do was meditate, heal childhood wounds, process things, and focus on myself. And what happened? You know what happened. I began to get stronger. My health began to return. I began to get really clear. My mind was crystallized. I began to kick the narcissist to the curb. I cut the ties and eventually severed them all. The rest is history. Here I am. I want you to accomplish the same things I've accomplished. I want you to supersede what I've accomplished. I want you to believe in yourself the way I believe in you. And above all, I want you to understand, the narcissist knows what they're doing. And every time you had to go to the doctor, or every time you would eat fast food, or every time you would eat the Cheetos that they would put in the fridge, or drink the bottles of beer that they would throw in there, whatever it would be, they were sitting there mocking you, laughing at you, staring at you, saying, yeah, you think that I care about you. I'm just feeding you food that you want to eat, and you're enjoying it, but that food's going to take you down. And my fingerprints will be nowhere near what you're doing to yourself. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, what I just shared with you, but it's true. You should be eating healthy. You should be living an abundant life, and you should be free from the narcissist. If you are free, you know what I'm talking about. Drop comments below. If you're not free yet, continue to focus on yourself. And then in time, in your time, you will heal, and you will understand that everything I'm sharing with you is completely accurate and true. And not only that, but I've documented my journey for almost 6 years. Go back in time to that first video I ever created. It's called Glad You Made It. There's a playlist on my channel called Glad You Made It. I strongly suggest you play all the videos from 2021, 2022, 23, 24, 25, and 26. There are 6 videos there. Watch the progression. Watch the growth. Watch the positive change within me. That same change is within you. We need to turn it on and tap into it and kick the narcissist to the curb once and for all. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Couple quick things. One, there are mosquitoes flying around here, and it's about 90-some degrees, so I can't see as well as perhaps you could. That's why my eyes are tearing a little bit, and I have sunblock on my face, etc. But aside of that, I want to share this. Your health took hits when you were with the narcissist, whether you know it or not. Your health will improve when you're free from those people, whether you know it or not. I'll give you a tiny example. You may say, well, wait, if you're not a doctor, why are you even saying this, Andrew? Well, I'll tell you why. Think about this, and this would be more accurate than anything anyone could ever tell you. After you kick the narcissist to the curb, and I'm using layman's terms, I usually wouldn't speak like that, but after you get them out of your life, one main thing that will happen with you over time is this: sleep. You will sleep better once you heal and heal properly. What does sleep allow a human being to do? It allows a human being to recharge. It allows a human being to stay in a very stable state. The body can heal, the mind can heal, the energy can be replaced and returned. And what does sleep also do? It allows you to see clearly because you wake up refreshed and you start the day off the way you want to start the day off. So at the very least, your sleep will return. I could give you another 500 examples if I wanted to, but I'm going to close the video right now. Again, I just barely scratched the surface of this topic. I want to share with you, though. I had many health challenges when I was trapped in multiple narcissistic relationships. I can assure you, you did too. Get out. Get out today and stay out. That's the goal. That's the path. It's what I did. It's what you must do. If not now, when? Love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye. Big heart for everybody. Big virtual heart, virtual hug. I love you all. Bye. And I am healthy and happy, and I hope you are too. Bye.